Huge upgrades in the Senate committees, Pog. Also some big committee chairship since 2009. Banking, Chris Dodd. Sherrod Brown. Budget, Kent Conrad to Bernie Sanders. Finance, Max Baucus to Ron Wyden. Hard to overstate how much better today's moderate Dem senators are than those in 2009, especially on stimulus. Yo, this is a little bit lib shit, but it's also fucking true. Like, this is... I don't know how the fuck we got here. I talked about this with Joe Manchin before, and I guess this is in regards to the Joe Manchin take anyway. But, like, 2009 Joe Manchin... or like Joe Manchin of a decade past versus Joe Manchin today are two different fucking people. As far as important policy news this weekend goes, like Senator Joe Manchin went on inside West Virginia politics and kept the door open to higher stimulus checks up to $2,000, even though he does prefer they be targeted but didn't draw a red line, and called for spending as much as $4 trillion on infrastructure. $4 trillion on infrastructure spending is Green New Deal. That's it. That's what that is. Obviously, that's not what Joe Manchin wants. Clearly. That they would not want that. He would not want that. Cole Andy. But that is what that is. Okay? Remember, Green New Deal is an infrastructure bill. Green New Deal is a jobs bill. It's not a climate change bill. It is all of those other things. It's an infrastructure spending bill. It is a jobs provider bill. Okay? Remember, one of the best ways to get people on board with climate change is by fucking opening up the money cannon to renewable energy initiatives and making it so that they are more profitable in a similar way to fossil fuel industry is straight up backed by the government. It's a resolution, not a bill. Yes, it's nothing. It's basically a fucking... It is basically a template, okay? It is a template. It is nothing right now. It is an outline. It is something that we should do. Do you understand? And I think that focusing on climate change from the point... It's an empty promise. Oh, God, it's so fucking stupid. There is nothing dumber than idiots who are like, I do realpolitik, my friend. And that means tax credits and tax credits only to those who are gentrifying low-income neighborhoods after attending an HBCU. That's the only way to do realpolitik, baby. Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. You don't know anything. You literally don't know anything. Shut up. Have a sense of fucking bettering tomorrow. Have a vision for once. Stop fucking poo-pooing others for having one and following through on it, only to take credit for it later when it does become realpolitik. When enough people actually get on board with it, you dumb fuck. So stupid. It is an initiative to create jobs law. Climate change is the secondary benefit law. Yes, that's the perfect way to approach climate change. What do I always say? You think motherfuckers are born with a bone in their body that literally makes them genetically only be able to do fracking? No. There is no genetic predisposition, as far as I know, to doing fracking and fracking only. Why the fuck do those Western Pennsylvania towns love fracking cum? Huh? Why do they love it in Ohio? Why do they love it in Oklahoma? That's because the government subsidizes this shit, and that's because it turns into a profitable business, and you can make $100,000 like a year in to working at one of these fucking oil rigs. That's it. That's the reason. Why is it so profitable? Because it's heavily subsidized. Okay? Those dudes, we shun this notion of like learn to code lol or retraining doesn't work. And there is truth to how retraining doesn't work. But the reality is those people that didn't have a job for the past fucking 10 years didn't all of a sudden go from working in the steel industry to fracking because, you know, oh, this is perfect. Retraining actually suspiciously works when it comes to retraining you to operate a rig. But retraining doesn't work when it comes to, I don't know, learning how to manufacture solar panels. Like, shut the fuck up. No, it would work if the government subsidized that instead of subsidizing the other thing. So I say, focus on increasing the efficiency of our renewable energy sector while simultaneously pumping money and funds into the renewable energy sector so that new jobs that we're creating for the energy development is created in the renewable energy sector, which already has a much larger fucking roof. Okay? We have hit the max capacity when it comes to the fossil fuel sector. We're literally trying to squeeze rocks, quite literally and figuratively, trying to squeeze rocks to get as much fracking squeeze rocks and get water out of it, basically, oil out of it. That's where we're at with the fossil fuel industry. Instead, focus on the other area that is a growing sector with nearly 1,000 times more job openings. It's so dumb. Anyway, so that shit pisses me off. So I do think that the Green New Deal as a proposal, as an outline, as a theory, as an idea is a good way to go about it. Focusing on the job side of things is the best fucking way to push for renewable energy and to push for green energy. Okay? And trains. I fucking love trains. Can we have some high-speed rail, please? Holy mother of fuck. I want some high-speed fucking rail, dude. Anyway. So. I hope that is clear to all of you. Yeah, motherfucking chew, baby. So that's good. Infrastructure spending is good. The fact that moderate Dems are actually moving on infrastructure spending is good. But then again, Republicans say they want to spend money on infrastructure and it never happens, so who knows? I'm worried that a brief spike in inflation post-vaccine as every middle-class American tries to take a vacation, go to a concert, dine out at the same time when those brutalized industries having it scaled back up could revive debt phobia. Dems should act quick just in case. Also, the most conservative Dem in 2009 might have been a dude from Connecticut, but I think it's an underrated factor. Obama-era losses wiped out a ton of blue dogs with seniority. Yeah. The irony is that Obama's and Rahm Emanuel, spearheaded by Rahm Emanuel, Obama-era blue dog conservative Democrat mentality actually ended up creating big losses in those fucking blue dog Dem areas. So they lost their positions. And that still is going on, by the way. Claire McCaskill is a great example of this as well in this modern era. So while Democrats simultaneously say, oh, we're losing out fucking seats because defund the police, blah, 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 like the outcome is entirely different. Red area and purple district Democrats are losing fucking seats. And there are still instances where a very progressive Democrat can flip a fucking red district, like Katie Porter. Okay? Yeah, I hate Claire McCaskill so much. Potato. Anyway. I am dumb. What is Claire McCaskill's issue? Spelling, sorry. Claire McCaskill is a Republican, but runs on a Democratic ticket. And she lost in Missouri. And now she goes on Fox News, or not Fox News. Now she goes on MSNBC. Sorry. Freudian slip there. She goes on MSNBC to just shit on progressives. So many establishment Democrats are losing their grip on power and fucking constantly railing against progressives and basically trying to stop a progressive momentum from happening within the Democratic Party. And the reality is that the progressive momentum should not be stopped, but should literally be advocated for if you want to actually win. Right now, as it stands, the Democratic Party should be beefing up every fucking winnable easy district with hardliner socialist or socialist adjacent Democrats, okay? There should be an AOC in every fucking easy district. There should be an AOC or an Ed Markey, or Ed Markey is the like literal entry point for me. There should be Sherrod Browns and Ed Markeys in conservative districts. And there should be Bernie Sanders's in like Dianne Feinstein's seat. You understand? That is how we are supposed to operate. That is what a smart party that wants to win would do. You fucking pad the decks. You stack the deck with as many progressives as possible in areas that are easy to fucking win, in areas that are easy to defend, and then you slowly but surely start shifting the Overton window back to the goddamn left. Center it. Actually center the Overton window in the middle if you want to. And then some. Why the fuck would we put socialists in power for Dem districts when they can't even win a primary? No one likes them, and that's why they aren't in power. That's really interesting that you say that, considering that I'm giving you very popular politicians that are either socialists themselves or at least social democrats, like legitimate social democrats, while simultaneously showing you conservative Democrats that have lost their fucking races. So if you are unaware of the issue itself on the ground, then I don't know what else to tell you. Also, you have to remember that the organizing initiatives for socialists or organizing initiatives for actual progressive Democrats that are social democrats, for example, has been limited. The funding is limited. It always has to be grassroots funded. And it hasn't been a real thing until recently. So shut the fuck up. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you can fucking make, you can say like, oh, it's not the truth. It doesn't matter, all you want. But left-wing Democrats are able to make massive gains with very little in comparison to conservative Democrats that literally lose after spending hundreds of millions of fucking dollars on races. Yeah, if moderates are so popular, how come they lost so many fucking seats, dude? I love that, like, moderates under the leadership of Nancy Pelosi lost so many fucking seats. And even when they lost the fucking seats, they turned around and they were like, this is the progressives' fault. It's always the progressives' fault somehow. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. It's so stupid. It's like, it's actually the progressives' fault when they lose. In moderate districts is actually the progressives' fault. Like, bitch, they literally called Reverend Raphael Warnock a fucking anti-American communist, and he still won. What the fuck are you saying? What are you saying? Maybe just fucking stick to the goddamn issues instead of trying to hurt the left within your own ranks when the left is doing more than you in winning these seats. In Georgia, by the way, our 11th black senator in American history is from motherfucking Georgia. Okay? Heart of the Confederacy. You think AOC is popular in West Virginia? Lol, there's a reason why Joe Manchin won. Brother, if we look up AOC's popularity in West Virginia and compare it to Nancy Pelosi is less popular than AOC. So shut the fuck up. AOC is the least popular. AOC. Nancy Pelosi is one of the least popular politicians in the country. 2/3 of the entire country believe she should be replaced. And you're over here talking about AOC this, AOC that in fucking West Virginia. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Even if AOC is not fucking popular, her policies are popular, okay? Even in fucking West Virginia. Why? Why do you put yourself up for such an idiotic argument that is so easily diffused by a counterpoint that shows that, like, your fucking person, the person that you hail as a fucking leader and think is decent, is infinitely less popular than AOC? Speaker Nancy Pelosi is the #1 issue in tight West Virginia House race, dude. Back from 2010. And historically, too, by the way. Your counterpoint was shut the fuck up? Really? That's all you got? I feel like when I deliver a counterpoint and then I say shut the fuck up after that, oftentimes people just hear like, blah, 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 shut the fuck up. Blah, 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 blah. Like you don't hear anything I'm saying. Like you don't hear the actual points that I make, and then you just hyper focus on the ad hominem because you're like, oh my God, he made an ad hominem attack, which means his argument is now illogical. Like, he actually was right though. What you said is regarding policies and is true as well and doesn't diffuse his point. It absolutely does diffuse his point. If his point is we need to have moderate Democrats in all of these fucking seats, and that's why AOC is unpopular because these people want like tax cuts for the wealthy and they are reasonable and moderate. And that is before we get to the fucking moral argument about what leaders should do. Okay? If AOC is the progressive candidate and Nancy Pelosi is the centrist person, and the centrist is less popular than the progressive, albeit both are unpopular in West Virginia, then why the fuck would you ever launch that as a counterpoint?